Hello, this is the Kenyan Siasa. Adabihozi Bali Yodanadawa. Conflicted in mind, at crossroads, in dilemma, indecisiveness. Dear folks of the Kenyan Siasa, welcome to this episode where our focus is on one Winnie Odinga, daughter to the immediate former premier, the late Raila Amolo Odinga. We'll go through a short down memory lane. Immediately after the death of the late Raila Amolo Odinga, Winnie Odinga emerged with conspicuous, palpable signs of one individual who was positioning herself strategically to inherit his father's political career. Winnie emerged fiery. Winnie emerged vibrant with regards to politics and with regards to the life or the path that her dad used to lead or to live. And lots of people within the Kenyan political streets commenced making conclusions that chances are high that Winnie Odinga might take the reign of her late father. However, after the burial of her dad, this inferno, this valor, this agility began withering. We started noticing a dilution in this fiery state of Winnie Odinga. You can remember very well, after the burial of her dad, during the celebration of the ODM party at 20, Winnie Odinga attended that function in Mombasa City with a t-shirt regalia denoting a position of captain, basically sending signals that she was positioning herself or she was ready to inherit her dad's political life. And during that event, Winnie gave us a short history of the ODM party. The ODM party was founded on the tenets of democracy, justice for the common mwananchi, and it was impossible for ODM to be swallowed in the broad-based government or in the Ruto's regime. That ODM should stand firm and remain independent on its own as a serious, strong, big party. She demanded for a soon or immediate NDC, National Delegates Conference of the ODM party, so that its leader could finally be elected constitutionally based on the ODM constitution requirements. Technically showing signs that she wasn't comfortable with her uncle, Oburu Odinga, being the party leader. By that time, Oburu Odinga was the interim party leader. He had not been confirmed by the NEC ODM National Executive Committee. Therefore, Winnie demanded for an immediate National Delegates Conference so that the party could be handed over to a new, invigorated, fresh blood of the young Turks to take it to the next level. It was obvious Winnie, apart from championing for new leadership, typically fighting her uncle, Winnie also was seen close with a group of politicians who are opposed to the status quo of ODM party. Here we are talking about the likes of Babu Owino, Edwin Sifuna, and the group. This faction is also rebellious to President William Ruto and has been against the broad-based thing, and has also been against the re-election of President William Ruto in the 2027 general elections. Therefore, we can boldly say that immediately after the death of Odinga, Winnie demonstrated a firm, clear political path that she was going to venture into. However, later, this vibrancy, this inferno, this spirit of agitation started getting down. And in a recent interview in one of the major mainstream media, Winnie stated that President William Ruto is the only major political leader in this country who has been so close to the family and has been supportive. We noticed a softening of her tone, which initially appeared to be against President William Ruto. And even on the appointment of her mother, Odinga, to the UNEP by President William Ruto, an offer which she accepted, we can see Winnie Odinga accompanied her mother to the State House to acknowledge or receive or start charting a path with President William Ruto. Therefore, we can say boldly that Winnie Odinga of late is showing signs of a conflicted person, somebody who is indecisive, somebody who is in dilemma, somebody who is at crossroads and isn't decided on which path to follow. And this isn't healthy for politics, especially in our Kenyan politics. You know it very well. Our Kenyan politics is basically guided by emotions. Our politics are local. Our politics, to some extent, are ethnic based. We're not guided by ideologies or principles. Therefore, one has to state categorically their stand for you to develop an identity that will enable you to create or to develop a following populace, like the way Haddad was. Haddad had a straight, well, concise, defined political ideology, and which made him a demigod to a certain faction that identify or resonate with that kind of politics. Therefore, you can't be called, I beg your pardon, you can't be lukewarm. You have to be cold or hot for people to take you seriously, for you to develop a formidable, concrete political path or career that might propel you to great heights in the future. You folks of the Kenyan siasa, this is our piece for Winnie Odinga. Make it clear, make it concise that one, you've settled with President William Ruto and you're going to develop a working partnership with him for your political future, or chart your own independent path for your future. The folks of the Kenyan siasa, we reached the halt of this episode. For those of you who are subscribed to the YouTube channel, we are humbled, we're glad, thank you. And for those of you who are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, the Kenyan siasa, we beseech you to show us some love by subscribing, then hit on the notification bell to get notified whenever we upload content. Remember that the Kenyan siasa is the echelon of the Kenyan political dynamics dissection pinnacle. Until next time, I'm Jabali, Udawa and Adawa. Bye-bye.